Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Some of you are brand new around here, and that's fine. For those of you who don't know, I've been reviewing Doctor Who since 2006? During the great and glorious days of, David Tennant. And tonight, 60th anniversary week, we've got David Tennant back as the next Doctor. We'll call him the 15th if you want. Because remember, on Gallifrey it counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, War, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, Handy, 14. You know what? It doesn't matter. Tennant, the face, is back. Yes, he moves around a bit like Crowley, whatever you want. And yeah, there's going to be some issues, but let's face it, this is the time when Disney are giving huge piles of cash to the BBC to make Doctor Who for you and for me. And you know what? It's all right. There's only 3 stories. You've got Doctor, you've got Donna, you've got Rose, you've got Donna's bloke. Catherine Tate was always great. But let's face it, the whole meta-crisis nonsense thing, well, that's all right. Because it's been dealt with. Do you get the feeling that it was hanging over Russell's head? Perhaps. I don't know. You think sometimes that it's going to be an annoyance. Because let's face it, there was a lot of fans out there, for a very long time, who were really, really annoyed with the way that Donna's exit had been handled. And it was a bit, it's a bit like Zoe, and it's a bit like, Fraser Hines' character being taken and have their mind wiped. And is that really legitimate that you can do that? And it wasn't great. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel very doctory. But the Doctor was doing something to save the world. And you know what? It's been put right. It's been put right in a very Russell-y kind of a way. It would have been fine if we just took the energy and released it into the universe and it was all fine. With one jump they were free? Look, this story, it's lovely to have Doctor Who back and for it to feel right. But I'm a Doctor Who fan. I'm going to have issues. I'm going to have issues with the music. What's with the heavy breathing? Why does it sound, and I won't be the only person saying this, like Rolf Harris doing a bit of in the background? It doesn't sound sinister. It doesn't sound scary, the music. I'm going to complain about this because I'm a Doctor Who fan and I've got that stupid level of entitlement. I loved it. I really did. It was a really nice interpretation of the storyline of a comic that I really loved back in the early 80s. And that's it. You see, if you want Meep Beep the Meep story, which, let's face it, is a bit like E.T. only if E.T. was evil, then you can always go back and find it via, there's a great version by Big Finish. And there's a brilliant version in the comics with the dark sun power taking over people's minds. You've got a brand new unit scientific advisor, played by someone who's been playing a really good companion with Colin Baker on the audios. You've all heard my weird rant about Doctor Who and things. And my theory that the big villain in this one, wait till I tell the boss. Yeah. You know that theory, that it isn't the Toymaker. It's actually the Lord of the Land of Fiction, because this is a story that has already existed in Doctor Who universe and is really quite famous. Did I like it? Yes. I'll put my hands up straight away and say, yes, I did really enjoy this story. Do I like the TARDIS, what it looks like now on the inside? God, yes. All right, my daughter said it looks a bit like Cerebro. And it does. Does it look like you could play Connect 4 on the walls? Yes, it does. Does it look absolutely bigger on the inside and just like every penny's been spent on the budget? Yes. For a long time, I thought that this new Sonic was going to be just for these specials, and it still could be. And that this new TARDIS design, if we were going to get one, would just be for the specials, and it still could be. But it really does look they've spent a lot of money and a lot of time on that interior of the TARDIS. So I think that's probably the one that we'll see from Christmas onwards. The unit visor business, great. Now, okay, the dagger drive, which in the comics was originally the Black Sun drive. I get that it absorbs energy from the surrounding things, and it's lovely that the cracks go up the middle of the streets. I mean, let's face it, I'm always going to be a bit picky, but it's a kid's show. It's a kid's show. Get that into your head. That's fine. What I'm actually thinking is that the way that, all the energy gets returned and London heals is a bit, with one leap he was free. It does fit really nicely in with some of the other storylines, that it could all be fiction. But the fact that Donna is now healed, that the character of Rose was really well realised, and from an accepting point of view was just great. And the idea, oh my God, tonight on Etsy there will be somebody making tiny little glittery ood, and all of the people that the Meta Crisis Dr. Donna character created will be there in handy knitted format. So yeah, this is where we're at. We're at Etsy land. And you know what? I don't mind. I've got issues with the music. I've got issues with that heavy breathing thing sounding. It's not for me. Because that hasn't appeared on any of the versions that have been leaked out there or released or shown. Because what we heard was the music, not the weird heavy breathing business, which I'm hoping doesn't last. This is just a first initial reaction, but I'm so glad Doctor Who's back. And it's going to be 3 very short weeks. But if you're new around here, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and just have some fun. Doctor Who fandom can be a poisonous place. It can be fun, and you'll meet some brilliant people. So stay, welcome, and if you're new around here, it's all right. There's 60 years of history for you to enjoy. Or if you want to just enjoy what's going on right now, do that. It's all right. Doctor Who fandom is a good place to be. Honestly. Welcome. This has been the Tin Dog Podcast. I've been around for 1,200 shows. And you know what? I still love Doctor Who. And I hope you do too. I really must get round to ordering a sonic screwdriver. So until next time, be seeing you. That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Everything discussed is the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. For early access to reviews, follow the show on YouTube or Twitter @Tin Dog Podcast. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.